Hey everybody, welcome to episode 7 on the Vocal Coach Debbie channel on Twitch and YouTube. I'm Debbie. You can learn more at vocalcoachdebbie.com, and today we are going to talk about let the mic do the work. Now, I'm not going to teach you everything about microphones. I'm sure there's plenty of videos out there that will tell you everything you want to know about different types of microphones, and do you want XLR or USB, and little ones you can wear and ones you can hold. There's a zillion microphones out there at a zillion different price points, and this is not that video. This is going to be a video about how you can change your singing style and your energy and all of your technique and breath support, and use all of that when you have a microphone. Now, maybe you grew up singing in church or another house of worship, or you sang somewhere where you didn't get a microphone and you really had to put a lot of energy and power behind it. And sometimes when we don't have amazing technique, but we have to do that, we end up blowing out our voice and we end up so hoarse immediately after, or we lose our voice during the performance, or the next day we can barely talk, or we sound really froggy. Audio and video are good, says my husband. Thank you. Stick around. We're going to be bringing out a second mic. I hope my husband will keep listening and make sure that sounds good. So when you have a microphone, you can really change how you approach singing. And this is another one of multiple reasons why a performer, a singer with great technique can do a tour for months and months and months and sing every night or almost every night without damaging their voice or okay, sometimes they're lip syncing it. Go watch the Wings of Pegasus channel for more on that. But we're going to talk about the different things that we can do when we do have that microphone. And I've got this Audio Technica AT4040, not sponsored. And I've got a super ancient Shure SM58, standard workhorse microphone. This one's a bit banged up. I got it, I think it's from the 80s. And it's just a typical wired microphone. People who still use wired microphones, you might see them using something like this. Very often when we're at karaoke, it's going to be this or something cheaper. And I think I just saw on Amazon, this microphone is 120 euros or American dollars. This one is over 400. I also have an SM7B, which is not hooked up right now. That one's just under 400. So lots of different mics at lots of different price points. So this is a condenser mic. So that means you don't sing into the top of it the way you sing into the top of this one. You are singing into kind of what feels like the face of it. My previous boyfriend, great guy, once set up a microphone like this, pointing with this top piece at his guitar amp. No, it's sensitive over here, and you can know that by listening to me right now. I'm going to move around this microphone in different places, and you're going to hear how close my voice sounds to your ear or your speaker by where I am. So this is me right in front of it. This is me moving around to the side a little bit. You should hear it get quieter, not as clear. Here I am moving around the back. Oh no, you can't hear very much of me anymore. As I move around the front, it becomes much clearer. It sounds like I'm right there in your head in a good way. Same thing for going over the top. You're going to lose me. I'm going to be quieter, less clear. And same thing if we went under the bottom. So that is why it's really important to understand, where is that sweet spot of your microphone? Where do you need to position yourself so that, I keep hitting my boom here, so that it sounds like what you want it to sound like. There are people who, when they hit a very high note or loud note, they're going to move back away from their microphone, but you don't necessarily have to do that. I've got a compressor on this mic, and we'll talk about effects in another show. But that allows me to stay close to the mic and sing something softly and sing something loudly. So the way we're going to look at this today is, instead of putting up my usual pitch monitoring software, I have a special treat for you today, and that is volume monitoring software. It's been listening to me talk this whole time. Now, first I'm going to say nothing so you can see the volume of my room right now. That means the room noise. Now, normally when I'm recording, I do not run an air conditioner right at my feet, but it is so hot in this booth this summer, you're going to hear the background noise of the air conditioner, and that's just so I can survive this stream. But I'll stop talking and you'll see how loud it is, and this is measuring in decibels. So that's just under 40 decibels, and that's the sound of my room. That's our room noise. I'm going to bring my tablet a little closer to me because this is what's measuring my volume. This is what you see on the screen. So now what is it? How many decibels is it if I snap? This is also a very quiet thing. It looks like about 40 to 50 decibels when I snap. So again, do I expect you to understand decibels or remember any of this? No, but it's just for reference because today I am going to be singing things quietly and loudly in both microphones, but you're not necessarily going to know how loud it is until you see it on this thing. So on my tablet, which is listening to me here in the microphone area. So let's give an example. Let's sing something really quietly, and you can pay attention to how it comes through in the microphone, and then I'll sing something louder. So when I think about quiet songs, I think about The Druids Turn to Stone by Ayreon, Ayreon. Check it out. It's sung by the always awesome and very dramatic Damian Wilson. Let's see. The magic words are spoken as we leave the plain in silence, and the circle stands alone, and the druids turn to stone. So how did we do there? That was almost as the same volume as snapping. That was me singing very, very quietly, but you might have felt like you heard that very close up and very clearly, and that is the microphone doing the work. If I were singing in a chapel or a performance hall and somebody didn't give me a microphone, I would not be able to sing at the volume of the average snap. No one would hear it, maybe just the first row. So if you're used to singing for the back of the room, then you might have sung that as the magic words are spoken as we leave the plain in silence, and the circle stands alone, and the druids turn to stone. I'm still using a soft tone. I'm not shouting it, but I have to be louder if I didn't have a microphone and I'm trying to reach the whole room, the whole performance space. Explore the studio space. So this is something to keep in mind when you do have a microphone, and especially a good microphone that's going to cost a little bit more than $20. You are going to want to use that microphone so that you don't have to push it out so hard. So I'm going to put the tablet down. It's close enough to me, and I don't want to keep hitting my microphone boom. It's about half a meter from me, so it's pretty close to getting my volume, or at least relatively speaking. Now let's hear what happens if we pull a real Damian Wilson and we sing the first line softly and we sing the second line in a big Broadway style belt. Again, using the microphone and not trying to necessarily sing for the back of the room. The magic words are spoken as we leave the plain in silence. Now the circle stands alone, and the druids turn to stone. All right, you can see there was a big jump there on the volume meter. The volume meter really caught that I was singing much, much louder. You can hear what the microphone did with that. I have a compressor on the microphone, which helps the microphone not crack and crackle and redline. It helps compress the sound so that it doesn't go above a certain volume. And again, we'll talk about compressors another time. But if you think about how I can use my energy much more wisely when I've got a microphone, you can start to think about how, let's say you want to go out and sing karaoke. And let's say you are singing your heart out and you find within a few songs your throat is killing you and you can't hit the notes anymore, and the next day you can barely talk to anyone. So that means you're probably pushing it way too hard. You're not using that breath technique and those diaphragm muscles, and you're really pushing it from your throat, and so you end up blowing out your throat. And we can get caught up in karaoke sometimes, and that can happen, especially if everyone's doing Don't Stop Believing and you want to go, don't stop believing, hold on to that feeling. And you can see from the volume software, I am over 80 decibels. I am at car and almost motorcycle volume, because I found that this will even tell you that if I press that button. So that was almost food blender volume. And so you can do that, but if you're going to really start doing that throughout songs, you do run the risk of really wearing out your voice. So what could we do to take advantage of having a microphone? We can think about our breath support and all of our core muscles, and we don't have to Broadway the hell out of it. We've got the microphone and we can use that. So maybe I would do something like, and again, you might have a different choice of how you sing it. There's no wrong answer here. And quick note here, all of the songs I'm singing are, YouTube is going to give the money to those people, and anything I'm singing is only as an example. I never think that I am better than the original artist. I am just singing something as an example. So maybe if I want to try to conserve my voice more and be able to get through lots more karaoke for the night, maybe I would do, don't stop believing, hold on to that feeling, street lights, people. Now I'm singing more quietly. It's still a bit of a belt. It still has some strength to it, but I'm kind of pacing myself. I don't want to blow it all on that one song unless that's the last song of the night, and I don't care if I lose my voice tomorrow. That was significantly less loud than the super shouty version I just did. We can compare them again. Don't stop believing. And that's coming in, about 60 decibels compared to don't stop believing, hold on to that feeling. That is significantly louder, as you can see from our volume monitoring software today. So we can take advantage of the microphone both for loud stuff and for soft stuff. If I were to try to sing soft stuff without a microphone, I would have to still push it out to that whole room. But you can sing almost at a whisper level. The magic words are spoken as we leave the plane in silence, and the circle stands alone, and the druids turn to stone. You can see that's only a little bit louder than my room noise. Let's go back to the room noise. Yeah, I'm singing so quietly there, and that means I'm going to have a lot more energy and not going to tear my throat up for later stuff. Now, let's switch microphones as an example. Let's talk about the SM58, because very often when you go out and sing, you'll have something like that. Okay, let's swing that out of the way. Oh, hi! Hello! Hello! Still here. It's very quiet. Yeah, these two microphones and it was not quiet. It was really loud. Hey! All right, so try to get really close on the microphone, and sound is not good. All right. Isn't it always that you do it not working? Is there compression or yeah? Try. Ah! Ah! That's 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 so. That's okay. Let's bring. Ooh, too loud. Too loud. This is too loud because I turned off the compressor. Let's turn the compressor on. Now it's loud. Come on, compressor. Okay. Okay, the compressor should be back on. It's loud. I'm going to fix that. Testing. Now it's loud. Hold on. Just when you want your equipment to work. Come on. Oh, let's turn that off. Okay, I think we're back. All right. I think I'm back at the correct volume level. Everybody agree? Yes, no, better. All right. I think this is where we were before. Can turn it up a little bit. Okay, that should be better. I think that's where we were before. Thank you for your patience. I don't know why that microphone didn't work. I promise I tested it before the stream, but wouldn't you know, live streaming. So the point I was going to make with this microphone, even though it's not working, and let's take the volume software off for a moment, is just like we were showing earlier about how if you don't sing right in front of the mic and you start going off to the side a little bit and it's not as loud, it's not as clear, the same thing is true for these microphones. And what'll happen is sometimes you will see someone at karaoke who does not sing into the microphone. Remember, this is going to be that sweet spot. This is where that sound is being brought in. Imagine that is your listener's ear. And so if you are not doing this right into the microphone, very often your sound will be quiet or muffled. And so whenever you see someone at karaoke who comes out and does this, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine," and then people are yelling, "Sing into the mic," and then they do this. They go from here to here. It's always a bit of a disaster. So remember, when you have a handheld mic, whether it's got a wire or it's wireless, you really want to get this close here, just like I'm really close to this microphone. It's hard for you to see from this angle. Can try to swing it around a little bit, but you're supposed to be, with a mic like this, not more than, 5 or so, usually 5-8 inches away. This one, you want to be pretty much right on top of it. And if you ever watch Damian Wilson sing, he actually puts his thumb here. And I think it's to keep his face from hitting the microphone, so that if anything else, he might hit his face with his thumb, but he doesn't want to bump into the microphone because then you're going to get bump, 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 bump. So remember, when someone gives you a handheld microphone, this is your listener's ear. If you are off to the side, it's going to be quieter. If you do one of these, then it's going to be quieter. That's just the way microphones work. They will make you louder, but the closer you get, the more it sounds like this. The further you get, it might still sound pretty good, but you're going to hear that distance. But that might be a singer's choice. Some singers choose to move away from the microphone when they have something loud to sing. For me, I'm using a compressor, which again we'll talk about in a future episode, but that means I don't have to move too far away from the microphone when I want to sing something loud, because the compressor is going to even me out. So I can go from the magic words are spoken to something loud, and I'm about to sing something loud, so brace yourself. And the druids turned to stone. Those might sound in volume not that different. If we were still looking at the volume meter, they might be very different. And that's just the way I've got my microphone set up so that it doesn't go too loud. So when you are singing, sure, practice without a microphone. Or if you have a microphone, practice with a microphone. Listen to yourself. Quickly, I want to mention, since I use XLR microphones, I have them running into a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. This is my old one, and everything's plugged into a new one you can't see at this angle. And the 2i2 allows me to plug in up to 2 microphones or 2 inputs here with separate volumes. This thing sticking out here is actually the amplifier for my Shure SM7B. Note that some XLR microphones will need amplifiers. It's an XLR if you see these 3 dots. It's got those 3 pins that look like a bowling ball. So this is the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. Again, buy anything you want. Don't buy anything you want. If you use a USB microphone, you'll be plugging it straight into your computer or whatever system you're using. When you are using digital stuff like a computer and you want to use a wired XLR microphone, you need an interface, because this will convert the analog sound into a digital signal that your computer can recognize either on a stream like this or in a recording scenario. So just note that if you are investing in some equipment, if you do buy an XLR microphone like the at least this Audio-Technica 4040 is an XLR microphone. I don't know if they're making them any different. Note also that even wireless microphones are often XLR microphones, because you've got the wireless, but then the thing that receives the signal still often takes an XLR cable into one of these guys or something like it. Focusrite makes ones with multiple inputs in case you are working with a band, or you are someone who plays a guitar and then a keyboard and then you sing and whatever. So this is just 2 inputs, but you can get them with lots more. So just a little equipment word there. If there's any questions about singing into a microphone and how it is different, also notice today I have my pop filter on, and the pop filter is pretty much what it sounds like. The idea is it's going to take some of your harsher mouth sounds, especially p, 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 and it's going to soften them. So if I say p, 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 and I take the pop filter off, you can see you get a lot more of my breath. Now, if you're singing something where you've decided that part of your storytelling is to have a lot of breath in it, become one with imagination, then maybe you want that. But very often, we put a pop filter in front of it and we can still sing like that, and we're just going to make sure that we don't have popping so much. The P's will sound more normal. P's popping. Pier Mario, also known as my husband. And so the pop filter can be worth it. Mine is just one on a little bendy metal thing that just clamps to this kind of architect's arm that I have my microphone on. Your microphone probably won't come with the arm. Some of them might come with a stand, especially the USB ones, since they think you might be podcasting. For me here, I am in a booth and I've got a piece of wood next to me, and so I've got kind of an architect lamp arm, and I clamp it on, and then I've got this, so that means I can raise it up, I can lower it, I can angle it. Right now I'm sitting, sometimes I stand up, and so all of that is then easily adjusted. And what you don't see is in front of me, this is the very top of my laptop. My laptop is on a music stand that has been kind of flattened. This is an XLR cable. And so, and this is a specialized arm that has some of the cable built into it, so I don't have to wrap it around and do other things. So that's a little bit about a common setup for a recording environment, whether you're recording audiobooks or narration or commercials or singing. And then when you're out there live, you're probably going to use some sort of a handheld microphone, or it might be a headset that you wear where the microphone comes around by your mouth. And again, it's going to take a little bit of getting used to figure out where, how close to your lips can you get? Do you want it away from your face? Does it curve around and point at your mouth? These, they're all very different. Some of them people are wearing on the side of their face or on their forehead. So all of these are very different. I can't say there's one right way to use or wear a microphone. But just know that these microphones are designed to amplify you, so you don't have to push it and sing to 1,000% every time you want to sing something. You can preserve your energy and still be a great storyteller and let the microphone make you louder. Yeah. I think that's a lot of what I want to say. That's the half-hour version. If anybody has microphone questions, I'm happy to take them. I did go to sound engineering school in the early 90s, so I do have some knowledge of microphones and the physics of sound. I still make mistakes like anybody does, and today my SM58 just did not work, but it is from the 80s and it's super banged up. It's all dented and messy, so it might be time for a new one. I do own a set of wireless microphones, the Shure PGX series. I bought those many years ago. I think I bought those in 2006 or 7 or 8. They're still good. So sometimes people think, oh, microphone, gosh, that's a lot of money. A good microphone made by a reputable company can absolutely last you decades, especially if you take care of it. If you put it in a nice case when you travel with it and you surround it in foam and you baby it. So a really good microphone can be worth it. I think I got this AT4040 13 years ago. 12 years ago. So again, a great microphone can really last. It also helps if it's in a smoke-free environment, since smoke and a lot of dust and stuff can certainly mess with a microphone. Again, if you have any microphone questions or singing into microphone questions, I'm happy to take them. Let me take a quick look at, I think next week we're going back to episode 8 will be an analysis, another analysis video. I will be doing Coffee Home Ground upon request. I think that's what it is. Let me check my plans here. Yes, so someone who saw my Kate Bush, This Woman's Work video, sorry again about the sound on that one, I'm still learning, requested Coffee Home Ground, which is a Kate Bush song. Amazing storytelling on that one. And so next week we'll be analyzing what makes the storytelling so interesting and unique, and in many ways theatrical. So thanks again for hanging out with Vocal Coach Debbie. If there's anything I can do, get in touch, vocalcoachdebbie.com. I also give remote lessons, and I've got a free Discord and a free Patreon in case anybody wants to be more connected. They're a little quiet right now, but feel free to join. Gotta start somewhere. Thanks everybody. Go sing your heart out, or sing with your energy reserved, and make the most of your microphone. See ya!